5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, how we doing, everybody? Good morning. Sam here, live United People's TV. 9:34. I'm a minute late. Sue me. How are we all doing? We're here to talk about transfers. We're here to talk about the latest on Frenkie de Jong. I haven't ignored it for the last few days, but there's been more important things to talk about. With everything going on with Tyrell Malacia, Christian Eriksen, and then the Cristiano Ronaldo story, it all kind of took more importance, I suppose. But today, I'm going to give you a full run through and update on the de Jong situation as we know it. With the latest from Dermot Corrigan from The Athletic, he's their Barcelona reporter, so he knows quite a bit of what's going on. And also something that I really found interesting about de Jong, the contract situation and what's going on at Barcelona. I'll run through that. We're going to speak about that first and foremost. Then we're going to speak about Andreas Pereira and Fulham, baby. Yeah, boy. That's good news. I'll tell you that. 10 million. Jeez. Never questioning John Murto again when it comes to Andreas Pereira. We're going to be speaking about Paulo Dybala, which I think is going to be a debate. I mentioned him as a potential replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo yesterday, but the stories seem to be accelerating. I'll speak about that with you, and I might do a separate video on it today. I think it's a really important conversation we need to have. We'll speak about Christian Eriksen and that medical. We'll speak about Tyrell Malacia. We'll hear from, I got his name, Robin van Persie. I've got his video I'm going to bring on. But look, who's down here in the comments? We've got Jono, Sanka, Anthony. There are so many members now. It's fantastic to see. Oh, look at that. Someone joined just as I said that. Effendi, how you doing, buddy? Let me know where you're watching from. Who else we got down here? We've got all the regulars. And Josh, I can see you there too. Daisy, good morning. Michael, Takeoff, Charlie Hughes, Mr. Vegemite lover. I don't like Vegemite. No offense to Vegemite. And I don't like Marmite either. Sue me. That's 2 times I've asked to be sued twice so far this morning. I don't know. Kieran, Dave, and Warwick Road Andy. Good morning to everybody, eh? Tyrell Malacia, that put a big smile on my face. Geez, how infectious is that dude's smile? My God. Set of teeth on him. Woo! Fantastic. For him anyway. All jokes aside, I'm going to focus on de Jong to begin this stream. I've not been speaking about de Jong for a few days, right? Because I don't want to fuel frustration any more than it needs to be fueled. The whole situation that's going on at the moment, everyone's getting frustrated anyway. But let me bring you the updates. As I said, I'll run through this before I head back down to the comments. I'm going to run through what Dermot Corrigan is saying from Barcelona's perspective, and also the latest from Fabrizio Romano on de Jong and the salary demands that they are trying to put on him. Remember that Barcelona are trying to get de Jong to accept a salary cut, and that's the only way he's staying at that club. It all stinks, it all reeks, but what's going on? Let me completely update you, and then I'll head back down to the comments. So make sure, as always, you keep interacting and leaving your comments down here. But yeah, this is the latest article from Dermot Corrigan from The Athletic. De Jong, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. The devil at Barcelona is in the financial detail. As I said, this is by Dermot Corrigan. So let's run through this. There's a couple of key points that I've highlighted that I want to run through with you this morning. And first and foremost, we know what's going on with their economic levers. They have been the things that have delayed a lot of this. The whole situation has been around the fact that they've been waiting for these levers. Instead of ending their financial year with a loss of 161 million, they're going to be announcing it as a positive because they signed that deal with 6th Street to sell 10% of their TV rights for 200 million euros. But I didn't know this part, and I thought this was interesting. It remains to be seen whether or not La Liga will loosen their salary limit. La Liga does not make its salary limits public until after the summer transfer window. So maybe it's not actually going to affect it, which made me laugh. But going down here and seeing how this is having a knock-on effect, Barcelona aren't quite finished yet with these economic levers. We know that they wanted to do 2 because Joan Laporta, the president, has gone on record saying, look, we probably need around about 600 million euros to balance the books to the point where Barcelona can then go and sign Lewandowski and sign Rafinha, which is what they want to do this summer for Xavi. It said that The Athletic has now been told that the first levy of the TV rights will be pulled again in the next few weeks. They've got permission to sell another 15% by the board members who agreed it and are aiming to raise another 400 million. So Barcelona is still trying to get more money in. And it's insane how badly run that football club has been. I'm laughing about it, but it is quite funny to see the fall from grace here. But that was just all sort of a bit of insight into the background as to what's still going on with Barcelona's finances. But this is how it's directly affecting de Jong and the latest from The Athletic. Dermot Corrigan saying the Athletic believes that Barcelona are still actively working to sell Frenkie de Jong, whether that is to United or any other club willing to meet their 80 million euros valuation. Now, remember, by the way, that what was it? Must have been over a week ago now. We heard reports that Manchester United had broadly agreed a 65 million euro fee with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. That's not changed, right? That's not changed. It's all about the bonuses now. That's the delay in that sense. But honestly, the more you dive into this story, the more you understand how unique and how complicated this de Jong transfer is. And that's something I do want to say here. I understand the frustrations of United fans, man. I want us to get our deals done quick, sharp. Tyrell Malacia, perfect example. No messing about. Price was in. We went in, paid it. Good, done. It went from here we go from Fabrizio Romano. No, it went from United are interested to here we go within the space of like 24 hours, if not less, to him signing for the club and being unveiled 4 days later. It was Friday when the story first broke, and Tuesday he was unveiled. Dreamy. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want more of those. But because of COVID, because of Barca's finances, it's all culminated in a very unique and very complicated transfer process. And it's what I keep saying. I know United are shit in the transfer market. We have been for a long time. But trust me when I say a lot of this is actually out of United's hands. And that's something I've kind of been reiterating for a long time. Going down here, De Jong is happy in Barcelona. Is he happy anymore? Ornstein saying Steven Bergwijn's having his medical. There you go. Very nice. That's not interesting news. De Jong is happy in Barca. We've heard that the whole way through, really, and wants to stay. And Xavi is happy to keep him. United remain interested in reuniting him with Ten Hag, although De Jong still needs convincing. Dave, you're asking down in the comments, can they register more players with Frenkie de Jong holding on? So they've actually announced Christensen and Frank Kessie on free transfers, but they still can't register them. They can't play for the club yet, as far as I know. They still need to balance their books more. Still need to get to reduce that salary cap limit before they can actually register them. The situation is also complicated by De Jong being one of Barcelona's highest earners and also being owed the salary he deferred in a previous concession to help the club out of a financial hole. And this is the most important point here, which I'm going to go into detail. This is almost worth a separate video in itself, because this effectively explains just the real levels of the complications behind this Barcelona situation. Michael, you're saying, look, what Barca are doing to De Jong is completely unfair and wrong on so many levels. He surely still can't be happy. That's what I said personally. I think at some point, he just has to go, am I really happy to stay at the club? Really? Tim, you're down there saying, I'm so pissed off with our club at the minute. We created a lot of this shit. De Jong doesn't want to come, and we are going to throw so much money at him, we will never learn. In that sense, I'm not going to completely agree on that one, Tim, because I think the De Jong situation is different. It's unique, and it is the centerpiece for this new rebuild going forward. It's not just signing a player as a mercenary because we can't get him for any other reason. He's obviously happy in Barcelona because it's a lovely climate, lovely club, dream club. Great. Circumstances dictate a lot of different things. And that bit there from Dermot Corrigan, that's what I'm about to explain more. And this really does, in my opinion, highlight just how difficult this situation is. Because I think a lot of what we've been talking about with De Jong, with the delays and everything that's gone on right now, we've been thinking about the past. We've been thinking about Barcelona's debt. They can't register any players. X, Y, Z on the salary cap limits. That's the thing we've talked about a lot. We've not really talked about how much De Jong is going to cost Barcelona going forward, because that is a significant part of it as well. Fabrizio Romano here is saying, look, from what I'm told, it's very unlikely that De Jong's going to reduce his salary. He wants to stay at Barca, sure, but it does not mean he will reduce his salary because he's got an agreement on it. And it's 100% spot on. And we've spoken about that quite a few times, haven't we? De Jong signed a contract. It's like you go and get a job and you're going to get paid 70 grand. Well done. You've worked your socks off. You've probably gone to uni. You've had years of experience and you've earned 70 grand and you've earned that through your own hard work. But then your business makes like, I don't know, brings in 7 more employees and then goes, crap. We've actually ballsed up our finances here. How can we resolve this? And they call you into the office and go, look, You quite literally haven't done anything wrong. You've been okay, but do you mind taking a 50% pay cut? I mean, we love you. We want to keep you, but we're going to sack you unless you take a 50% pay cut. You'd obviously go to your trade union. You wouldn't do that, X, Y, Z, but it's the same situation. Barcelona are screwed up so much that they're forcing these decisions on their players. Gungshi, maybe if United offered a few more million up front, Barcelona would accept. I really want Ten Hag to get this man and don't screw this up. Maybe that's going to be the thing that changes it. 65 up front is what we've agreed on. But look, we've somehow managed, and I will speak about this a little bit further down in the video, we've managed to get Tyrell Malacia in the door and Andreas Pereira out of the door for a net spend of a couple of million. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. But going back to this De Jong situation, this is the clincher. And this, for me, explains why it's so much more complicated. And we hear that De Jong is happy at Barcelona. But maybe De Jong is really thinking about because what De Jong did here, right, which I would explain by running through this. Marca have got access to, I don't know how they did it, right? And maybe they make these numbers up, but why would they do that? They got access to De Jong's contract. In COVID, it wasn't just De Jong. I remember PK doing it too. Quite a few Barcelona players took significant pay cuts to help Barcelona through COVID. And the way that they did that was by deferring payments. That means, I think De Jong's contract was worth 14 million euros a year, but he deferred that. He got paid like 3 million or 9 million. I'll show you the numbers in a minute, with the intention of them being paid that money in the future. So De Jong will be getting paid an absolute bucket load of money by Barcelona over the next 4 years. We scroll down here and we start reading this information. Look, in total, Barcelona has to pay nearly 90 million euros to Frenkie de Jong for his fixed salary and loyalty bonuses over the next few years. And we scroll down here. You don't particularly need to read Spanish to understand this, right? This is the breakdown of de Jong's contract at Barcelona. And you can see here that during COVID, he reduced his salary from 12.3 the year before down to 3 million to help the club, to say, right, okay, I'm going to relieve some of the financial pressures on Barcelona for this year by reducing my salary. Still this season, he's been on a reduced salary, which means that for the next 4 years at Barcelona, look at that. His salary rockets up to 18 million euros. And when you add in all the bonuses that he's due nearly 13 million in bonuses over the next 2 years. Add in all the separate bonuses that could happen if they get there. This is, as I said, we keep talking about what's happened before with De Jong. This is a huge situation. And this could complicate everything, because De Jong has effectively done a lot of good to Barcelona and helped them through this situation by deferring quite a lot of the money that he was owed contractually, because he didn't expect to leave the club. Because it was his dream club, he wanted to stay there. And I'll be honest, Mo, I think this is definitely playing into it. And that's what I'm trying to explain in this video. We keep hearing about how Barcelona is the dream club for Frenkie de Jong. I think there's a bit of there's a bit of self-interest in there as well. And of course, why wouldn't you? That's the contract you signed. That is the money that he is owed. So that is probably why Frenkie de Jong is not going to be forcing a move away, because he'd have to walk away from that. He'd have to walk away from that contract. And it really is an insane amount of money that Barcelona have forced themselves into. And it's like, how do you... The guy's, yeah, you call the guy's wealthy, but he deserves it. He's worked his socks off throughout his whole career to earn that contract. And I think that's playing a significant role in why he's probably not going to put in a transfer request. And he's probably not going to push for the move, because he wants to make sure that if it happens because Barcelona make it happen. Not because he takes a pay cut, not because he puts in a transfer request, because he's got that contract. And I imagine if he was to put in a transfer request, it would affect probably quite a few things inside that contract, and he'd lose quite a few of them. Jibak saying, how is Frenkie de Jong's pending salary a problem? Why can't Barca knock that off their asking price and United pay him the money as a signing bonus? United are going to pay 10, 20, 30, 40, 48, 56, 64, 73 million euros as a signing bonus. I don't think we have to. I don't think we will. But for me personally, that explains quite a lot, in my opinion. Now, you might disagree with that. But this is why it's such a convoluted and complicated problem. Barcelona have got themselves into a financial mess. De Jong is sitting on a very, very good contract, but he's, over the last couple of years, he's massively reduced his money, the money that he deserves and is owed, because he was helping the club out. He wasn't then expecting to be sold by the club. So the club's sweeping his feet away. Ray, you're saying, look, it's not De Jong's fault. He won't stay at Barcelona taking a pay cut and continue to take a pay cut. I feel he's coming to United. I still feel he is. And type yes or no in the comments now, right? Where are you at this point? Do you think Frenkie de Jong will join Manchester United this summer? Type yes, type no. You can let me know in the comments below. I'll try and gauge what the percentage of people's opinions are. I'm still standing by the fact that I think he will. We go over here. Gerard Romero, I'm not really sure I'm going to be listening to him anymore. He's saying Frenkie de Jong is speaking with Erik ten Hag every single day. But I want you to let me know what you think. Let me go down here and read a few of the comments out. I'll tell you what, it's massively split down here in the comments. Massively split. Lots and lots of you are saying no. Probably more of you saying no, actually, at this point. I'm going to go maybe 60-40 no. No, I don't know. I really have no idea. But I am going to look like an absolute dick. And I'll tell you what, if we don't sign De Jong, I'm going to look like a dick first and foremost. Second of all, this whole summer will be a failure, I think, if we don't get De Jong. Simply because of how much energy and time De Jong has consumed. And because I do not think there is a viable alternative to De Jong. You could say do a poll instead, but then nobody on Facebook can do that. So, no, I want to include everybody in this. Chris, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you there joining. It's really annoying how you can't get mods to do polls. Why have I got to do it? Because I can't do it because I'm live. And it's really annoying. YouTube, sort it out so mods can start polls. How do I rate Garnacho, says Johan. Yeah, nice. Trust me, I think Garnacho is going to be, of all the kids who are coming through, I think he's one to really, really watch. Yeah, I don't want to be full of doom and gloom. You know me, I'm positive where I can be. But because we spent so much time on De Jong, because we put so much energy into De Jong, and Ten Hag has made it so abundantly clear, he's my number one. Like he is the, if we sign him, this summer will be a success. If we don't sign him, I don't know where we turn. I really, really don't. Gungshi. Yes, Barry. I'm not bringing Barry out now, but Barry, maybe I will. Mark, I don't know how you can come up with that opinion, because we've signed Christian Eriksen, who is a very, very, very good signing. Might not be the sexy signing that you want because it's a free transfer, but it's an extremely smart and shrewd signing. Tyrell Malacia, I think, is a very good long-term strategy signing, and also short-term as well, because he's going to definitely improve that left flank. And if we get De Jong, yes, good. Ronaldo, that's making it more complicated. But Somto, you're saying down there, how is it a failure if we didn't sign De Jong? It's because everything is revolving around De Jong. All of Ten Hag's plans next year, everything in his mind, everything that he's working on, everything that he's doing, he's gearing towards Frenkie de Jong being part of that. And if it's not Frenkie de Jong as part of that, then I don't know where he turns. And then it may well end up being that Christian Eriksen is the Frenkie de Jong alternative. And maybe we've already signed him, because I don't really think we go out and sign somebody else if we don't sign Frenkie de Jong. Dave, you're saying down here, I can't see us putting all the effort in for De Jong and not getting him. I really don't think so either. And that's, Barcelona are just, as I said, Barcelona are being utter dicks about this whole situation. They really, really are. Barcelona are just, I told you, they're trying to paint this guy as a villain. They really are trying to paint him as a villain. He's the nicest dude. You won't find one interview, really, where anyone says, oh yeah, Frenkie de Jong, he's a dick. Don't like him. Oh, I remember when he was an arsehole to me. There's nobody. Nobody at Ajax will say that. No manager who's managed him. No player who's played alongside him. Anybody who knows him. They all speak positively about De Jong. Yet Barcelona and he helped Barcelona by taking a pay cut during COVID. And their thank you to that is saying, well, you're going to have to make that pay cut permanent, mate. We know you're happy here, but if you don't do that, we're just going to sell you. Dicks, absolute dicks. What a bad football club, man. Really is. I know United have got terrible owners, but what they are doing there is just twisted. It really is twisted. But that's how much of a shit show it is at that club. It really is. Yeah, Kevin, as I said, Kevin, if you have worked your socks off, Kev, and you have worked yourself into a position where you're like, finally, I'm where I want to be. I'm at the job I want to be at. I'm on the salary that I deserve. And you don't do a bean wrong. And your boss comes to you and says, look, if you don't take a 50% pay cut, we're going to sack you. What are you going to do? You're just going to take that pay cut? No, you are not. None of us. I know the numbers are hugely inflated, so we can't particularly relate to it, but just put yourself in that same situation. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't accept it. You dig your heels in, even if you were happy there. It's such a fucking weird situation. And unfortunately, Manchester United, I found ourselves in the middle of it. We have found ourselves in the middle of it. That's the update for you on De Jong. As I said, for me personally, it's when you look at this and the numbers that Barcelona still owe De Jong for the years to come, you just realize how complicated this situation is. Really is a complicated situation. And this, for me, is why it's taken this long. It's not just about their finances and what they owe to date. It's what's happening in the future and what De Jong is going to be owed, or what De Jong would have to walk away from if he was to join Manchester United. And I think that's part of the reason why he might be happy at Barcelona. Get Eriksen, Martinez, and Antony and take it as a win. We're not going to get Martinez and Antony. We're only going to get Martinez, and I'm fine with that. Antony, 80 million. He is way overpriced. Way overpriced. And if we're going to be spending 80 million euros, I think we could spend it far better, in my opinion, than spending it on Antony. Joseph, I've no doubt that Frenkie de Jong has given Ten Hag a verbal assurance he'll come to United. He can't say anything publicly as it will compromise his contractual situation. And I'll be completely honest, I think you're right there. I don't know whether he's given Erik Ten Hag a sort of a thumbs up behind the scenes or whatever it is. But Erik Ten Hag would have and has been speaking to Frenkie de Jong. There is no way that there's no way at this stage that Man United would still be this deep in the situation if Ten Hag didn't think, A, that De Jong would leave Barcelona, and B, that De Jong would be happy at Manchester United. And that's something that Ten Hag knows, and I don't think anybody else will know until or when De Jong joins. Because there's no way that Ten Hag would be going this hard after De Jong and making United keep going and going and going if he didn't have the assurances from Frenkie de Jong about what would happen. Right? That's what I think so anyway. So the situation there, the only things that really change the De Jong situation now are, number one, Manchester United increase our offer of 65 million euros up front. But we've already broadly agreed on that, so I don't really know why we do that. But maybe that might accelerate this situation. But De Jong is not accepting a pay cut. So either Barcelona sell him, or he refuses to take a pay cut and he stays at Barcelona, and sod knows what happens then. Because then it's going to be, I don't know what goes on in that situation. That's really, really weird. Anthony there saying, on a positive note, at least we sold Andreas Pereira. And ladies and gentlemen, can we just have a little moment of silence here? Moment of silence? Probably the wrong way to describe it. But can we celebrate how good this is? Can we really just have a little, just take a little step back, and we can say, we've just sold Andreas Pereira to Fulham for not 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million. 10 million pounds. Double figures. 10 million pounds. David, I can see you joining there as a member, buddy. Let me know where you're watching from. But 10 million pounds. Plus 3 million as an add-on. Maybe 13 million. Are you mad? Seriously. That's good. And I've been throwing shade at Manchester United for how I thought it was kind of poor, just how long it's taken with this Andreas Pereira situation, XYZ, but 13 million. Right, Phil Jones. Phil Jones for like 8, 9 million. Come on, baby. Aston Villa, I reckon he'd be good at Villa. Sunderland, they've just got promoted. But 13 million for Andreas Pereira. As I said, we just signed Tyrell Malacia for 15 million euros, rising to 17 million euros with add-ons. We've just sold Andreas Pereira for 10 million pounds, rising to 13 million pounds with add-ons. That is just a little, and deserves a little round of applause. That's fantastic news. That really is. That's the sort of smart business that I want Manchester United to be doing more of. I told you, if City can sell Gavin Bazunu and an 18-year-old midfielder who only made one senior appearance to Southampton for a combined total of nearly 30 million pounds, then we should be getting more out of these clubs. And we're getting 13 million out of Fulham. Hey, look, Andreas Pereira is what? Is he 26, 25, 26? He's got years ahead of him. If he finds his level, if he finds a team he's comfortable at, maybe it'll be decent. Good luck to Andreas Pereira. Wish him the best. But my God, I'm so glad we got rid of him. Just was a fringe player who just sat there, took his wages, and was never going to help. Never going to help Manchester United. That's exciting news. I think so anyway. So if that's not worth dropping a like on the video, I don't know what is. So make sure you drop a like on the video. I'd love to see you all down here. Who's down here? Surely we can use that money to get De Jong in. Well, we just spent that money on Tyrell Malacia. It means that if we did have that budget of 130, 150 million pounds, it's kind of untouched, because collectively, 13 million in the door for Pereira, 17 million euros out the door. That's pretty much zero. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, why don't you just go and give Barca that 10 mil? Come on. I'll tell you what. Mark, it's been a tough few years, right? It has been a tough few years. So I'm going to take the small victories when they're there. And I consider that a small victory. But now we just have to add Eric Bailly to the list, Phil Jones to the list. Dean Henderson's obviously left on loan. I don't think Martial's going anywhere now that this Ronaldo situation has developed. But yeah, Phil Jones. Phil Jones has to be next. Come on, baby. And I think if we can get that, how much do you think we can get Phil Jones? Somewhere between 5 and 10 million. I think thereabouts. David, all my dad's family live in Dundee. Look at that. I haven't been in Dundee for years. I remember Dundee when, fun fact, they used to have a great swimming pool. They used to have a flume that came out in the diving pool called the Cannonball. Came out of like the height between the first and the second diving board. And you were allowed to go down it backwards. Used to love that as a kid. Although you kind of nearly drowned when you got in the dive, when you actually landed. But it's good fun. But how much do you think down here? 8 to 13, 4 to 6. We're speaking about Dybala next. Dybala's the next conversation point, all right? £1 and a pack of biscuits, 500 grand. Hey, look, I reckon like 5 to 7 million. Again, Phil Jones, seasoned professional, Premier League quality, not Premier League injury level, let's be honest. I reckon 5 to 7 million will be a fair price for Phil Jones. Imagine that. We can get nearly 20 million combined for Phil Jones and Andreas Pereira. Yes, please. But look, speaking about short-term signings, X, Y, Z, I did a video yesterday on replacements for Ronaldo, potential replacements for Ronaldo. And I ran through quite a long list of expensive signings, of free signings, of young signings, different types of signings. And you let me know in the comments on that video who you think we should sign. But this sort of appeared last night. And I think I might be doing a video on this later today. I haven't quite decided yet what's going out of the lunchtime video because there's too many talking points. I've got to focus on what's what. But DiMarzio is saying that Manchester United's agents are in contact with Manchester United. Manchester United's agents are in contact with Manchester United? No, it's not. Paulo Dybala's agents. And I want you to let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? The Dybala situation is, well, you can see why people would want him to come to Manchester United, right? He does have quality. He is world class. He is available on a free transfer. He will bring goals. He will improve our attack. There's a lot of reasons why you'd be like, well, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you bring him in? And then on the other hand, you're going to be like, this feels like an Ed Woodward signing. Is this going to be a signing that Erik ten Hag wants? His wages are going to be astronomical. Does he want to come to Manchester United? And for me, the most important thing here with Dybala, it's his contract. It's the contract. Because I think on the surface, if you look at Dybala and you go, I mean, it's never going to happen because he's 28 and he probably want a longer contract. But if you go to Dybala and you go, right, we'll give you a 1-year contract with the option to extend for another year and he signs that, not really much of a risk. I think that probably is a good option for Manchester United to take. But he won't sign that. And my fear about Dybala is that his wages would be astronomical. His wages would probably be more than what Pogba was demanding. Be like 300 plus, wouldn't it? And I think if you do that and we sign him, he probably want a 4-year contract, roughly, because he's 28. It'll be his last big payday. And then we're probably going to be stuck with a player on a huge contract with overinflated wages, who doesn't want to leave the club, who doesn't really offer too much to the club, and we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And we have been stuck there too often as a club over the last few years. Nigel, in a dream situation, we move back to that. But he's actually not over 30, so we wouldn't do that. It's a really difficult situation, really, because of Ronaldo. Ronaldo's forced us into a situation where we're having conversations like this. We wouldn't even be having these conversations about Dybala. He was available on a free transfer at the start of the summer. Did anybody really mention him? Not particularly. Everybody collectively said, not too sure about that one. Probably looking elsewhere. But now that the Ronaldo situation has evolved, we're having this conversation about Dybala. Let me go down here and see what you think. See what you want. We want players that want to play for us. Well, we don't want Ronaldo then. He's not a proper striker, no. No one's looking at Dybala and going, oh, look, we've got our number 9. You're looking at somebody who's probably more naturally suited to playing on the right-hand side, but can play through the middle. And it depends how Ten Hag plays next season. You might just want 3 fluid centre forwards who can all sort of play in different positions, rather than having an out-and-out number 9. Allegedly, Dybala, as Ricky, that's the conversation that we're having that down here. There's no way we're going to get him 150 grand a week. We only need signs that work hard for the badge. Well, yes, of course we do. But at this point, as I said, we're being forced into a situation with Ronaldo. I was going to bring it up later on. Where is it? Is it that one there? No, not that one. That one there. This is from Laurie Whitwell yesterday. This is something that we've all said. The timing of Cristiano Ronaldo wanting to leave United has been described as awful by some close to the club. He knew United would not be in the Champions League in April, but waited until July to communicate his intentions. And I absolutely stand by how shit the timing has been. I don't care what you think about, Ronaldo was waiting to see if we made signings. That might be part of it. But then why give an interview like a few weeks ago saying you're happy and you can't wait to start working under Erik ten Hag? Mixed messages, and it's forced this weird situation. Paul Bridget down there saying sign Jimenez. There's no way we're going to sign Jimenez. He cost, what? I don't know. In excess of 50 million, that's for sure. He's not a striker. It's another... Yeah, it would. As I said, it's not a like-for-like replacement, Ronaldo and Dybala. But because it's available on a free transfer, it's like I said in the video yesterday, I don't particularly think United are going to go and spend 40 to 60, 70 million on a direct Ronaldo replacement this summer. I think that's a conversation for next summer. Therefore, we need a stopgap. We need something that can happen this season. And someone like Dybala on a free transfer, even if you disagree with it, and largely I do disagree with it, I can't just outright dismiss it because I don't want him. Because he is available on a free transfer. And as I said, I think this is a debate that needs its own separate video, because there are definite positives to Dybala. But for me, I'd probably say that I don't know. I don't like it. Overall, I don't like it personally. But we need something, right? As I said, but yeah, going back to that video I did, let me pull up the thumbnail for it here. That one there. Look at that. I can't remember which one it was. Look at that. Hope you enjoyed that video. Did quite a bit of research into that. Big up to George for helping. But I'm pissed off that Ronaldo's done this. I can't lie. I think it feels like a bit of a dick move. It feels like a dick move. And I feel like this conversation could have been had a lot earlier. That's it. It's just the timing. I can't begrudge him for questioning the ambition of the club. Yeah, you're right. You should be questioning the ambition of the club. I just don't like the timing of it. I think it puts United and Ten Hag in a difficult position where the focus should all be about what's coming forward and what's next, with our preseason, with our team. And instead, we've got to have a conversation about replacing Ronaldo, which is huge. It's huge. and it's now dominating. Yeah, it's annoyed me. But look, Dybala, I might do a video on him later today. I might do a video on something else. Not quite decided yet, but I'll tell you what, I want to quickly have a conversation about here because I think this is a cool video. I'm going to pull this one up now. I'm going to speak about our first official signing that was made yesterday, and that's Tyrell Malacia. And Robin van Persie sent him a message. I'm going to bring that up for you now, and then we'll have a conversation about Tyrell.
Hey Tyrell, it's Robin here. I would like to congratulate you on your fantastic move to Manchester United and this big moment in your career. You've shown that with self-belief, lots of talent and hard work, day in, day out, you've shown that, and I've seen that from close by, that dreams come true. So to all Red Devils fans, you're not only getting a very talented fullback, but as well a fantastic person. So be nice to him, support him in good times and bad times. He will give absolutely everything for you guys. So I'm sure it will be a great connection together. On behalf of all Feyenoord fans and Feyenoord people, thanks Tyrell for what you've done for all these years, from a young kid when you arrived in the youth academy up until now, up until this fantastic moment. You are a true sample for the next generation. So thank you very much for all your effort and all you've done for our club, and I wish you all the very best. Good luck, man.
Just don't tell him what happened with Donny van der Beek, all right? It's different. It's new. But look, I enjoyed that message. It was a nice little message from Van Persie. Man, Van Persie, that year he had, I remember that summer. I think I was away on holiday somewhere, and we signed Van Persie. And I was like, nah, that can't be true. That can't be true. That's not happening. And it did. It was true. In that season, you know, I've gone on record quite a few times here saying there's not that many signings that United have made, top level, top quality signings who have come in and just had an impact straight away. And Robin van Persie, we lost the Premier League title to City on goal difference the year before he came in, and we won the league. That season was fantastic. But look at these smiles yesterday, even from Erik ten Hag. Tyrell Malacia's smile was infectious. Look at him bringing in the first signing, the first of many, I hope. Look at that. I like quite a lot of the pictures that came out yesterday, but I gave my real opinions on the deal yesterday, and I think this is the sort of signing that I can really get behind my club doing. 17 million. The investment is not major. It's because we've signed a player before he's a household name, and that's what we have to do. It's what the best clubs do because their scouting departments allow them to identify these types of signings, and it has to happen more often. And I think Tyrell Malacia, I liked a lot of what he had to say yesterday. Like, for example, in this one here, you can see the quotes at the bottom. He was asked about sort of players who have influenced him and players that he takes inspiration from. And he said, look, yeah, Patrice Evra is, but the last part of this is what I like the most. He was like, yeah, I love Evra's style. Everything is fast, strong, energetic and everything. But he said this, I want to do better. And I just like it. Obviously, I'm going to be hypersensitive to the positives, I think, because I want to be. So I'm looking for that narrative. But I just like the way he carried himself in his interview. I like the big beaming smile he had on his face. He was clearly happy to be at Manchester United. He's clearly happy to play for Erik ten Hag. And he really feels that this is the next step in his career. But something I really do appreciate that he keeps saying, he goes, he's not surprised by the move. He's like, yeah, I deserve this. I deserve this move. I've worked my ass off. I've worked my socks off. So he's self-aware of his own position. He's not lucky to be there. And I always think the word luck is massively misused. People will say, oh, you're lucky you got that job. Or you're lucky you do this. But in reality, there's a lot of work that's gone in behind the scenes that you haven't seen. So it's not down to luck. Success is when preparation meets opportunity, right? And I think that's something that sticks. That's something that a bit of a mantra of mine. Yeah, not the best picture, that one. Woo! It's looking a bit skew-if. But look, I'm happy by it. I think it will be a good... And something I also quite like as well. It's a little bit different, but he didn't have a Twitter account until like 5 days ago. Kind of shows where his head is, his headspace is. He's focused on the work. And I'm looking forward to it, man. He won't be the next Patrice Evra. He'll be the first Tyrell Malacia. Something I keep reiterating. I don't like the comparisons that journalists do. I think it's a little bit lazy, a little bit unfair on players. But I like it, man. Yeah, look, Sammy is saying the keep putting subtitles in his videos. Yeah, he speaks really good English. Do they put subtitles in every video? Every video, I think it just means that they can then share it on different platforms, because some platforms they do better with subtitles on. But look, I'm excited by it, man. I really am excited by that signing. It's not the game-changing signing, but it's the start of something different. It's the start of something new, and I think he carried himself really well there in that interview. Let me pull up this update that we've got for you from Simon Stone on Christian Eriksen. I had it on screen, but it seems like the BBC has updated this bloody live blog that they've had. Where is it? Jeez. Pogba set for Juve return. I don't care. I don't care. How cool is it that you don't care? Oh, man, I'm really happy about that. I really am so happy that I just do not give a shit that he's gone back to Juve. I really, really, really do not care. My God, how many updates have they put on this? Jesus Christ. I'm on the second page now. Oh, wow. Okay, right. I can't find it then. My God. Never mind. Thank you very much, BBC, for ruining that. But Christian Eriksen, let me try and get the update for you from Twitter instead. It's all to do with Christian Eriksen and when he's going to be joining Manchester United, right? There we go. Right. Finally, I've got it. Thank you very much, BBC, for making me look like a dick like that. There you go. Let me pull this one up. Manchester United have agreed a deal in principle for Christian Eriksen. However, with a medical still to arrange and other parts of the deal still to be done, it is not certain whether he will be part of the United squad that leaves for Thailand on Friday. So, Eriksen may not be on the plane for the start of the tour. I know it's a little bit frustrating, let's be honest. It's like, United, man, this is a free transfer. How can you possibly have made this that long? I think Eriksen was pushing for a 3-year deal. And as I told you, he was making that choice between lifestyle and ambition. And he's chosen ambition. He's chosen to go United rather than being happy with his family, just chilling in Brentford in London. But Eriksen may well not be on the plane. I'm not too fussed by that. He'll be there. He'll be part of the preseason tour. I'm not too fussed. Personally. You might be. I don't think I am. I'll tell you what, Juventus. I think Juventus are trying to make the sort of like the anti-United team. Not anti-United. That's a bit unfair. They got Di Maria coming in. Snake that he is. They got Paul Pogba, who Man United fans are happy to see the back of. Geez. It'll be a shame if Juventus don't win the league this year, wouldn't it? Be an absolute shame. I agree that United Malacia signing is fantastic, but the squad have greatest needs that need to be solved. I couldn't say better than that, Mark. It's exactly what it is. He's not a game-changing signing, but he's a signing that will hopefully bring a new attitude and a new approach and a new work ethic inside that squad that will start to change the mentality. And I'm excited for it. And I think signings like that, I think will make a real difference. They really, really will. But yeah, I hope that it looks like Fabrizio Romano has been on the juice. Adam after and Juventus. Looks like he's been on the sauce. He probably hasn't. I don't know if he drinks. Tell you what else happened yesterday. Manchester United's fixtures were released. And how weird is this? They've put the United game against Liverpool at 8 o'clock on a Monday. That don't make any sense. I don't know what they're doing that for. I mean, I know why they're doing it. It's TV. But bit weird that. We kick off the season at 2 o'clock on Sunday, the 7th of August against Brighton. Week later, we play Brentford on the Saturday. And remember, of course, that we've got Europa League this year. So a lot of the games, I think all the games in September are all Sunday games. We're going to be going Thursday to Sunday. Right? And you're down here feeling as chipper as always. Malacia, great for the future, but we haven't improved our starting 11 yet, in my opinion. We've got Christian Eriksen. We've 100% improved our starting 11. Let's not try and push that narrative. But we need De Jong. We need a centre-back. Martinez, I like the silence on Martinez, right? We've heard not much in the last few days since Man United put in an offer for, I believe, around about 45 million euros for Martinez. And I personally think the silence is a good thing. I'm expecting the next update to be, right, a deal has been agreed. Whether that's Manchester United whether that is Arsenal. I've told you what I think about that. I think Arsenal are wasting their time. I think Martinez is coming to United. If he's leaving Ajax and going to the Premier League, he's coming to Manchester United. But I think the next update from Mike Vivage or Fabrizio Romano on Martinez will be that the deal has been agreed. I think that's what we're waiting for. And I personally think the silence is a good thing. There's no more updates to give you on Martinez. We've given a 45 million euro bid. They've rejected it. They want 50 million. Very small gap to cover. He wants to come to the Premier League. Ten Hag wants him. United are going aggressively for him. I personally think we might get an update today. We might get an update tomorrow. But the next update on Martinez should well be the fact that a deal has been agreed. And fitness balance, you've asked a question down here. I've got lots of, again, content plans around Martinez, around Frenkie de Jong. It's all there. It's all ready to be recorded. I'm not doing anything until we've got deals for them done, because there are certain questions I think you can ask about both of them. And Martinez, who did play a season in that position for Ajax, you can definitely ask questions about whether he could play in defensive midfield for Manchester United. But everybody, last few minutes of the live stream, you know what to do. Fire in your questions. Can be about anything you want. I hope you enjoyed the podcast yesterday. If you haven't listened to the podcast, let me leave the link to it here. We release once a week, every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. UK time. Yesterday, we released it. Really in-depth conversation about Cristiano Ronaldo from every angle, from 5 season ticket holding Reds. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. I love making the podcast. It's something different. And I think it's got a unique flavor to it. We call it that. Yeah. And it's only available as a traditional podcast. I don't put it out as a video everywhere else as well. The only place you can listen to it is on Spotify, Amazon, Google, or what's the other one? Deezer, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all of them. Google. Make sure you listen to it. The next Here We Go will be United flying off to Thailand. 10 points for that dad joke. How much money do we have for transfers given the latest developments? As far as we know, the budget's exactly the same as it's had. As far as we know, depending what report you've read, 100 million, 120 million, 130, 40, 50, 60, 70. Everybody's guessing. But we've sold Pereira for 10 to 13 million. Big up. That's covering the Malacia situation. Eriksen, we've got on a free. So we haven't really spent anything this summer. So we've basically got a new left back and a new central midfielder for nothing. So the whole budget there technically is still there for the centre back, for De Jong, and for an attacker of sorts. And we don't know who that's going to be. Cider or ale? Ooh. I like ale. I like cider. I like all of them. I don't have to choose that one, do I? Cider on a nice hot day to start off the drinking session. And also on day 2 of drinking, a nice fruity cider to sort of reintroduce you to alcohol when you don't really want to look at vodka or anything like that. Sergio Romero coming back. I think that'll be a good situation. Really, really do. There's a couple of you asking about, I'm going to call him he who must not be named, because I'm not mentioning Mason. Anybody who asks about Mason, I'm not talking about it. And I will not talk about it. I do not expect him to play for Manchester United ever again. So why do you keep asking? Seriously, people, why do you keep asking? I find it so odd how obsessed people are for updates on that situation. In fact, someone's spamming it so much that you're going to, unfortunately, sir, you're going to get blocked. Anybody who spams comments gets blocked. Simple as that. And I don't actually know about this one. My gut instinct tells me that the better long-term strategy for Manchester United would be to not spend big on a striker this summer, to get someone in on a short-term basis, so probably a free transfer, or someone that we can have the ability to sell next summer, or wouldn't mind becoming a second striker next summer, and then we focus on Nkunku. I think so there. Have we? No. Well, Eriksen was a free transfer. We're paying for his wages. And if we're paid... Seriously, people, why do people keep talking about him? I don't get it. You're not going to get anything else out of me on Mason. Seriously, that's the last thing. Mods, just straight sweeping bans for anybody. You know the rules. Anybody who's asking. Should we try Lewandowski? No, we should not. Vardy? Really? Nah, don't think so. Memphis, I'm going to add that into the no pile as well. As I said, lots of you asking about the Martinez and centre back. He's versatile. He will add options, and he could play in both positions. I'll be very curious to see what he would do. I'm off fishing today. I like fishing. I haven't been fishing in ages. Nice way to spend a day. Used to go fishing with my dad. But I haven't been for years and years and years. Knighton, you've joined us a member. Let me know where you're watching from, buddy. He's saying there's no strikers to be had. Belotti is available on a free. He was actually the one player I identified as a potential free transfer signing. I didn't really think that Eriksen would, but, we got him as well. Rafael Leao, I mean, AC have just won the league, so you're going to have to spend big money on that. Go down here. What are we all saying? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think he has gone to Monaco. I don't know whether Monaco is actually completely and utterly done yet, but Monaco, by the looks of things, are going to be signing him. But what I'm going to do, ladies and gents, I'll wrap that up for today. Thank you very much for everybody engaging. I love the comments, majority of them, until the trolls came in towards the Emma Mason. But it is what it is. Thank you for joining in. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. I'll be here tomorrow morning, as always, 9:30 a.m. Today, I'm not sure what the lunchtime video is. I might do it on some more videos that have emerged from training with Ten Hag, something I like, or I might focus on Paulo Dybala. Unsure, but make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good day.